Hey, what's up, everybody? How you doing? How you doing? How's everything? We are
Fine.
here
How's
live. Say hey.
hey?
And my name is Mecca, the microphone checker 1212. If you don't already know, I just gotta remind you. You know. I told somebody the other day. Look, I need sound effects. I need pew 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 pew. Those are the type of sound effects I need, right? Like
I know that's right.
if you sleep, you guaranteed to wake
Yes. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
up. Ah, this is nice. So, guys, look, the post that I sent out today, if you guys didn't see it, go get it. Go click that link and register for the event tomorrow. It is the Healing Journey Virtual Awareness Summit. We're going to speak about domestic violence, understanding victimology. We're going to speak about breast cancer awareness.
Mhm.
How no fear here, not having fear through the process, but being strong through the process. And right here, we're going to be speaking about mental health. Power of your emotions is so important, especially when you are experiencing things. It's very important to know how to manage your emotions and know that all that you do, you have the power in any space that you're in, right? And your emotions is the one that it causes you to trigger,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
So this right here is gonna you're gonna get some gems. I hope you got pen and paper, but Tyra will not give you all the juice because that means you gotta register, right? You gotta
That's
register.
right.
Sure, sure. You better go register for that event. I only put a limited tickets, so make sure you get your tickets. Get these blessings that you guys are about to receive on tomorrow. The event is from 11 to 2.
Mhm.
Okay. We're also gonna post We're also going to post the link inside the bio. Now, if you guys want your names and whatever you say to pop up, make sure you go to the StreamYard link that is inside the post.
Mhm.
Click on it. You may ask for your password so that it can access so that it can pop up on this platform. We want to hear what you got to say. We want you guys to interact. We're here for you. We're bringing it to you. And the best thing about the event is it's free. We're giving
Mhm.
back to the community. We got to take care our people. And I truly think that this is a great event for our young ladies, our
Mhm.
youth. Because Tyra, there are a lot of young ladies that are experiencing domestic violence, mental health, and speaking to Dr. Shauna yesterday and
Mhm.
experiencing cancer before they 40.
Yes. Yes.
So this event is going to be a great platform for you guys. So I just want you guys to be mindful and really share it and pass it down to
Mhm.
other people. Don't leave a queen left behind, right?
Right.
Don't keep
Mhm.
the juices and the gems to yourself. Okay? You got to support
Mhm.
others. So what I'm going to do
Yes.
is I'm going to introduce this woman here. Let me tell you something. Wicka, wicka. Yeah, I really appreciate her so much. She's always uh open and ready to do this beautiful work, and she's always going to be blessed, always, because of the beautiful work that she does. And I appreciate her so much. We have our conversations on the phone and everything like that. I love her, right? Like, she's the sweetest woman, I swear, man. I just love having conversations with her, right? So she's about her business. She's about her business. She don't play. That's obvious, and I'm pretty sure anybody that know her, they know that already.
Yes.
Fact. So I'm going to introduce my lady, Tyra Gardner. She is amazing rock star, psychotherapist. This woman is going to bring you knowledge. She only going to give you some snippets, right? We're
Mhm.
going to have a little conversation, but she ain't going to give you all of it.
Right.
Here's my lady. Tell them about yourself. Give them a little snippet about yourself and break down like maybe some points that you're going to hit
Okay.
on tomorrow's event.
Yes. So, hi everyone. My name is Tyra Gardner. I am a psychotherapist and a nationally certified anger management specialist. And my practice is out of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. It's at a moment's notice and the Wellness Center of Mindfulness. So tomorrow, for the event tomorrow, we will be talking about the power of emotions. Our emotions and our feelings play a role in everything that we do. And so some of the information we'll talk about, we're going to be talking about anxiety. We're going to talk about depression. We're going to talk about how our emotions um, can can affect our decision making. We're going to also talk about how our emotions plays a role in our relationships, whether it's a personal relationship, a business relationship. We're going to just touch on a whole lot of different things, tomorrow at the conference. And we definitely want each and every one of y'all to come through and hear me speak and hear all of the other speakers as we talk about all of the issues that are plagued into our society right now. So one thing I will do today is, though, I will provide a couple of tips. I'm going to give everyone some tips on reducing anxiety, some strategies that you can use. I'm only going to give you, I have 11 tips, but today I'm only going to give you 5. So if you want to hear the other remainder, you got to join us tomorrow to find out. So one tip for anxiety to help with you maintaining control of your emotions is number one, being able to exercise. Exercise is extremely important, whether you do a lot of walking or going to the gym. I know going to the gym right now is kind of scarce, but just any kind of movement that you could do that's a form of exercise. Sometimes being able to share how you're feeling is better than holding back your thoughts and your feelings and your emotions about something that's going on. So be able to, confide in someone. And if it's not someone that's in your immediate circle, seeking professional help, whether it's with a counselor or a social worker, a therapist, or a psychiatrist or a psychologist, someone that you can talk to, or your religious minister or whoever you have, a spiritual guide. My third tip is stress coping isn't about activities. So don't stress coping about activities. Don't stress about the activities that you want to do. Put it out there, say what you want to do, and if you're able to do it, then do it. And if you can't be able to do it, then find another alternative way for you to release that stress and that anxiety for that moment. The next tip I'm going to give you is making sure that you are hydrating. Make sure you drink plenty of water. Water matters. We definitely have to hydrate ourselves because water basically is definitely something that we need. A lot of people drink a lot of unhealthy drinks, whether it's soda or alcohol or things of that nature. So we definitely got to remember that we got to remember to keep hydrated at all costs. And being around positive people, that's my next tip. Remember to be positive. If you hang around positive people, that will definitely boost your self-esteem. It will boost your confidence. It will keep you positive and keep you from falling into a negative mindset. The bottom line is staying and maintaining in a positive mindset. That's all we can do, especially during the times that we're currently experiencing. Being positive, I can't stress that enough. That helps with our reducing our anxiety, reducing depression. It helps with everything. It helps with healing all of the relationships that we're in, knowing when we and another tip, and this is just a bonus tip, is knowing when to let go, because sometimes we're in situations that we know we need to let go that may be negative and causing us some form of harm in our life. So we got to know when to let it go, move on, and focus on only the positive things and how we can make change in our lives and make things a lot better than what we've experienced, whether it's currently or in the past. We are the ones who have to make the change, and so we have to be open and honest with ourselves to make change in our lives. And so first and foremost is being open and honest about our feelings and our emotions, because we definitely want to be whole, and in order for us to be whole, we have to be 100% with how we feel with ourselves. Self-awareness is everything, and unfortunately a lot of people aren't aware of how they feel about things, or they are aware how they feel and they pretty much push their feelings to the back burner to focus on others. And so what we're going to be talking about tomorrow is finding ways to not push our feelings to the back burner and focus on how we can totally have control over our feelings, our emotions, and be able to manifest that into a more positive mindset. And so that's the goals, and that's everything that we're going to be working on tomorrow. And we'll definitely be taking questions, and anything that anybody wants to, any questions anybody have, they can feel free to ask them.
Yo, that was like, and just like, and I hit y'all with that. I hit y'all with that spicy secret sauce. I was like, ooh. I'm telling you, like the way she laced that, and then she still got y'all going because it's like, wait, what are the other ones? Wait, she left me hanging. You know what I'm saying? That's how you do it. Yes, Tyra. Yes, she did that.
I wasn't trying to give too much, and I was like, okay, I better know when to shut it up.
No, like, that was just right on top because like I don't want to interrupt because I already know what you going in, and
Mm-hmm.
it's like I know when to like step in and but man, it was like she got that, she breaking it down like 1, 2, 3, so I was ready. But you know what though, it's so
Mm-hmm.
funny that you say um working out and movement,
Mm-hmm.
things like that. Because when I was going through my whole process,
Mm-hmm.
losing my late husband, and if you
Mm-hmm.
guys don't know, some of you guys may know, but if you now popping on this and never see me before or don't know nothing about me, my late husband was killed in Iraq.
Mm-hmm.
And this year, actually this month made 15 years. And I actually noticed in my beginning stages, I realized that I needed to really, the movement is what helped me a
Mm-hmm.
lot. Like the movement, the
Mm-hmm.
meditation, and that's
Mm-hmm.
what caused me to get into the business that I do now.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, with the Yoma method, it caused me to create the Yoma method.
Mm-hmm.
Yoga, martial arts, and meditation, like just fused all into one for trauma informed and
Right.
all of that. It just, that's how I ended up creating it because I was in a space
Mm-hmm.
and not see the thing is, I truly believe back then
Mm-hmm.
when I was going through what I was going through, nobody understood what mindfulness or paid it attention that much.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Right.
the therapist did not.
Mm-hmm.
So when I would go to the therapist, it would be so boring. Somebody sitting there
Mm-hmm.
with a book and a pen, just writing,
Right.
and you just repeating back to me what I just said.
Mm-hmm.
That's not helping me. So it just made me feel like I wasn't gaining anything from it. I just felt like it was the same thing. I was hitting up a brick wall every
Mm-hmm.
single time. And I believe one day I got fed up because you know my daughter was inside the room
Mm-hmm.
and she was like, "How she's so tired? She's young. Like, what do you care? Who cares?
Right.
Like you? How
Mm-hmm.
was she? 7, 8?" And she's crying
Mm-hmm.
how mommy is
Mm-hmm.
doing everything by herself and mommy
Mm-hmm.
needs daddy to help her and this
Right.
and this. And she just wish she can help me. And I'm like, what, this little girl? It
Mm-hmm.
didn't make sense. But then the therapist
Right.
said, say, well, your daughter, is very concerned and she wants to be able to help you. Okay, I know that. She just expressed that. But you're
Right.
not helping me with ways to work through it. So that's the point where I
Mm-hmm.
just stopped going. No, it's
Right.
not. Wait a minute. It was a point where the guy said to me, "Oh, you just come here when you need something. Isn't that what I'm supposed to come there for?"
Right.
Tyra, now you do what you do.
Yes.
Why would you say something to somebody like that who's grieving? Like that right there?
Yeah. I mean, some people out there, they don't have, like, they might not have the proper training in empathy.
Empathy, yeah, that's
Hmm.
what
And
I
so when it comes to that, and empathy is a learned behavior. I'm not going to sit here and say it's not, because some people have it, some therapists have it and it's innate, and some have to learn it.
feel.
And that is actually a process. And when it comes to grief, some people are trained in grief therapy and some aren't. And so with that being said, they will do the best that they can. It's not saying that they're, a bad professional. It's just saying that they sometimes people will do things like with any job,
Mm-hmm.
and they will try to fake it. You know how some jobs they say
Mm-hmm.
fake it till you make
Yeah,
it. When
yeah.
it comes when it
Huh.
comes to when it comes to therapy, some areas you cannot fake it when you make it. Okay, because this is people's lives that we're dealing with, and we have to be able, we counsel them in the right direction. So not saying that this person was, a, terrible, therapist.
Mm-hmm.
It was that particular therapist just wasn't right for you, and
Yeah,
wasn't right for the situation that you
yeah,
were experiencing. And I guess hopefully as time moved on, and he or she counseled other individuals with the same situation, hopefully they won't do this again.
yeah. We would just hope so, but I will never
I
know because
hope so.
I left. I left, and I ended up
Mhm.
um just just finding other ways. And uh,
Mhm.
I swear to you not,
Mhm.
martial arts became my way.
Mhm. Mhm.
Oh
Okay.
my goodness, martial arts.
Wow.
I felt like
Mhm.
I let go so much
Mhm. Mhm.
anger,
Mhm.
hate,
Mhm.
weight, like weight of like the hurt and the pain that I was holding on
Right.
to.
Mhm.
I just felt like as I beat the bag or hit the pads or do the intense workouts, it just made
Mhm.
me feel so
Right.
amazing. It's like I felt another part of me, like
Mhm.
an inner side of me was creating. And
Mhm.
my sensei used to always tell me, "Hey, you a little beast." He said, "I got you, I got you." And he used to always say, he said, "You be in beast mode." And I was like, "Yeah." So he always
Mhm.
used to say that to me.
Mhm.
And I, people see things in you that you don't see in yourself, because
Right.
honestly, when I started doing the martial arts, I was just kickboxing and I was just doing
Mhm.
it for fun, but I didn't realize
Mhm.
that it was something that I was actually gonna continue doing, because as a girl I was doing it, but it was just
Mhm.
because my brother and my uncle was doing it, and I was just
Mhm.
raised around a bunch of boys, and eventually was a tomboy. But
Mhm.
as an adult, going back into it, it was different because I had stuff I needed to release,
Mhm.
a lot of stuff
Right.
needed to release, a lot of hurt and the pain. And
Mhm.
that really did a lot for me, where I
Mhm.
trained in like various forms of martial arts, and
Mhm.
I had great training,
Right.
honestly.
Okay.
I just gotta say that because
Mhm.
like and also like the meditation and the yoga, all of
Mhm.
that really put me together.
Right.
Okay, all of that put me together. When I say it put me
Mhm.
together, it put me together. It,
Mhm.
I felt like the pieces of a puzzle was being put together. That's how I
Right.
felt.
Mhm.
And I truly believe that the space that you're in, it allows you and it
Mhm.
guides you to where you're supposed to go. That's what I truly believe
Yes.
in. And I
Mhm.
was able to come out of my space with that
Mhm.
and other things
Mhm.
that I had to do to help me come out of this space. But I don't
Right.
believe back then people was
Mhm.
paying attention to that stuff and that it was really out there like that. I started
Okay.
to get into it later on.
Mhm.
And as I
Mhm.
started to get into it and started to venture out into other things to help me manage it,
Mhm.
and you, just like you said, don't sit on the negative. Just
Right.
take it and do something positive, and don't be around
Mhm.
negative people. And that's
Mhm.
exactly what I did. And then, God blessed me, and as He blessed me,
Mhm.
I just be like, "Back here, what's up? How
Mhm.
you doing?
Mhm.
Watch me,
Yep.
watch me, ooh, watch me, ooh, ooh, ooh." So I literally like just what you said, Tyra. Like this is
Yes.
how you know what she is saying makes so much sense, and it's all facts because she just really touched the spot when she said that. You know how
Mm-hmm.
there is power in how you react to a situation and how you manage it. You know,
Mm-hmm.
seeing yourself in a space and then allowing yourself to progress, to step
Mm-hmm.
forward, makes a great big difference.
Yes,
A
it
big
really does.
a
Mm-hmm.
big difference. You know what I do want you to kind of like break down with them a
Mm-hmm.
little bit about. I talk about this oftentimes, like in my classes when I'm teaching
Mm-hmm.
workshops and PDs.
Mm-hmm.
And can you kind of give them a nice breakdown about your emotions and your reactions and how it's all connected? And like, can you kind of like give them a breakdown about that on a mental level, as far as their actions and emotions, how your actions can
Well,
create, your emotions can create.
oh yeah, I mean, our emotions can create a reaction. When it comes to certain situations that we have in our lives, that's why they always say you have to fix your behavior, fix your actions, because for every action there is an equal and opposite reaction. That's Newton's what is it, third law of motion, putting a little bit of science into this. So when we feel a certain type of way, let's say we're feeling angry, the first reaction that we have when we start feeling anger is we become upset. We start screaming. Some might scream, some might yell, some might decide that they want to become aggressive or combative. And so from that emotion of anger comes the reaction of this behavior. Then when we, I guess, communicate or interact with someone else, we expect them not to show an emotion about us, I guess, responding in this particular manner towards them. But at the end of the day, a person is only going to react based off the emotion that you give them. So if you give them a negative emotion, they're going to give that same emotion back to you. So we definitely have to be mindful of how we interact with others, and how our emotions can take control over every situation.
Mhm.
I mean, we definitely have to know how to remain calm. Listen to your inner voice. If your inner voice is telling you, I don't need to be here, then I need to make moves, go somewhere else right now, calm down. Then listen to that inner voice and go along and calm down and do what you need to do. Because at the end of the day, all that can do is stir up a whole lot of trouble and a whole lot of problems. So I hope that answered your question for you, Mecca.
Yes, yeah, girl. Let me tell you something. Like, this is how you know this synchronicity connected, because that inner voice.
Hmm.
Look, Tyra, you may not know this, but I always speak about that.
Oh, I didn't know.
Girl, that's what I'm telling you, synchronicity. I always, like, see, this is how you know we here. That little voice be speaking,
Hmm.
and I like to call my little voice God,
Hmm.
right? Because
Right.
going, he be going, and when he go, I gotta listen. I gotta be on it, and I gotta
Hmm.
be ready to jump when he say jump. Hey,
That's
that's
right.
I'm right there. Oh, I'm ready to make a soundtrack right there.
That's
But
right.
my voice,
Hmm.
that little voice is God, and that's what I always say. God speaks to me, you know,
Hmm.
and it could be in my head, and in the yoga world we call it
Hmm.
mind stuff. And that
Yes.
mind stuff, yeah, it
Hmm.
it 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 could play with your head so bad to where it could be something that's good for you or positive,
Hmm.
and because the way you're thinking of it is so
Hmm.
negative,
Right.
gonna be negative because you're creating that space for yourself.
Right.
You create your space.
Hmm.
You create your space, right?
Hmm.
Now,
Yes.
Tyra, now
Yes.
it's up to you, the individual, right or wrong, whoever the
Yeah.
person is,
Hmm.
to take a situation Ooh, whoa, we about to hit something here when it comes down to mental health and the power of emotions. This is
Mhm.
it.
Mhm.
You as the individual to take situations
Mhm.
and to make it seem like it's more than what it really is.
Yes.
Right? We could be
Yes.
something that you can just deal with and manage
Mhm.
versus you complaining or
Mhm.
being negative about it
Mhm.
or seeing it in a negative route
Right.
or needing to take a longer route to get there when it's you creating a longer route for yourself, right or wrong.
Right. And it happens. It happens. Sometimes we get so caught up in our feelings that we do start putting our mind in a place that we don't really need it to go. And it's we
Mm-hmm,
have to be able to bring ourselves back and
mm-hmm,
know that this is not the reality that is
mm-hmm,
actually happening. And we have to learn how to
mm-hmm,
be able to face
mm-hmm,
our own realities.
mm-hmm. You see? You see how that just makes sense? So
Mhm.
oftentimes what I realized about people is that
Mhm.
they don't they don't see that. They see things in a more negative route. But
Mhm.
when you see
Mhm.
things more in a negative route, you really make things more difficult for yourself.
Right.
Right?
Mhm.
Right? You if
Yes.
you done been through multiple things already,
Mhm.
listen, you should already be equipped
Mhm.
mentally, spiritually, emotionally
Yes.
to manage these things.
Mm.
You
I
see?
agree. Hmm.
Thank you, my sister.
I
You
agree.
should be equipped. You know,
Hmm.
so there should be no situation that's capable of making you yell and shout out, "My life is destroyed. My life is this." Nah, man, get
Hmm.
outside of your head now.
Right.
Right
Hmm.
now, I'm
Yes.
I'm not talking crazy, right?
No, it's all about control. It's all
There you
about
go.
control. You have
There
to
you go.
have just as control over your emotions and your mental, just like you have control over your physical.
There you go. There you go.
Hmm.
Now, when we break down in this aspect, right?
Hmm.
And we break down this aspect and we
Hmm.
see this, right?
Hmm.
And we find us in this space.
Yes.
That can also cause people in your circle to step away because of the negative mind stream of thinking, the negative words that come out your mouth,
Hmm.
also, right?
Right. Oh yeah, definitely. Because people don't want to be around negativity. Now you
Mm-hmm.
do get some people that that don't mind drama. I call them drama dreamers. They'll stay
Ooh,
around and they'll
deep,
hang out
deep.
because they want to be around. They love the good time person. And sometimes the good
Mm,
time person is the person that comes with all the drama.
that
Everybody
is
has
so
that
true.
friend. Everybody has that
That is
friend.
so true.
And with having that one friend, that drama dreamer person that we have that
I
come
like that.
around, that hangs out. Granted, we're gonna always have a good time hanging out with them, but at the end of the day, it's like, do you really want that person continue in your circle? If that makes
Exactly.
sense.
Yes.
So it's like at this point, we just gotta be mindful of um, how we how we navigate with
Mhm.
the individuals that we have in our life, because at the end of the day we need to be worrying about protecting our peace.
There you go. Especially during
Hmm.
this time right now,
Hmm.
we
Yes.
with all of this pandemic and things like that. You really gotta learn how to like take a step back and breathe
Hmm.
and say, wait a minute. And
Yes.
I always say, like, evaluate the situation.
Hmm.
Evaluate the situation.
Oh
And
yeah.
I don't know, like what it was like maybe a month. Last month we
Hmm.
was early last month we was talking about assessments, giving yourself
Hmm.
a self-assessment. You know,
Yes.
this is
Hmm.
the time frame where you need to do that. You may not
Yes.
know what you're saying, or you may be aware of what you're saying, or you may be in
Hmm.
denial of what
Hmm.
you're saying or the way you feel or what you're thinking. But
Right.
that's when you step back and you take a moment.
Hmm. Yes.
You see?
Exactly.
So
Hmm.
it's kind of like another point I want to hit right here when it comes down to mental health,
Hmm.
right? And the power
Yes.
of your emotions. I'm going to keep hitting on that.
Hmm.
Toxic, toxic relationship.
Hmm.
Now, we're going to brush up a little bit on toxic relationships.
Hmm.
Not allowing yourself to allow the toxic relationship to affect you from
Hmm.
achieving what you need to achieve, such as your
Right.
goals, what
Hmm.
you're doing, and
Hmm.
your relationships with other people. Let's kind of
Right.
break down some something in regards to like the toxic, because I think that's happening a lot right now, especially
Oh
during the
yeah.
pandemic. Mm,
Oh yeah. I mean, toxic relationships, they happen all of the time. They can be people, who are negative,
mm,
and they might say things that's out of the ordinary.
mhm,
And sometimes when it comes to toxic people, we tend to continue to allow them in our lives because they might be somebody that we really don't want to let go.
mhm,
But 10 ways that you can tell if you're around a toxic person is, number one is if you're left feeling emotionally drained. If you're emotionally exhausted after an encounter with them, because most toxic people starts arguments and fights and things like that because that's just what they do. Unless you start to really be able to identify that toxic person in your life, you won't be able to figure that out. Another way to identify a toxic person is they try to intimidate you to get you to believe things are their way. They want you to think like they think. That's a toxic person. They try to control you by guilt tripping you and
mm,
making you feel guilty for something that didn't occur. And it's just like, wait a minute. And you see that type of behavior happening in all kinds of abusive relationships.
mhm, mhm,
They're easily jealous.
mm,
They're easily jealous and they like to sabotage.
mm.
They can't take no for an answer. Always, wanting you say no to them and they keep on and keep begging and back and forth. And it's always, again, a drama situation with this toxic person. They constantly see themselves as a victim.
Ooh,
So, is then you sitting up there like, wait a minute, that didn't happen to you. But it's like they make themselves be the victim, and before it's all over, you start believing that they are a victim because they done mentally drew you into their world. And so when it comes to toxic people, oh my goodness, we can go on and on for days for them. They always give backhanded compliments.
ooh,
And we know what a backhanded compliment is, where they're being condescending and smart with what they're saying, but we accept it anyway because it's them. And
wow.
but it's somebody on the outside, somebody that's in your circle that might be around when the compliment happens, and they be like, "No, they didn't say that." You look up and they ready to jump up, pushing stuff out the way, ready to fight and everything. You like, well, wait a minute, they didn't say anything wrong, and like, yes, they did. And it's always the whole back and forth. Had to act it out. And the final thing is people that are toxic, they have no respect for boundaries. They
Mm,
will always do the most and they won't respect the boundaries when it comes to your relationship, any of your relationships. They will always go the extra mile to be difficult. And so
mm,
with them, you definitely, these are the type of people that you definitely don't want to have in your circle
yeah.
because it is something but the funny part about it is the more and more I talk to people just on a friendly basis, you get
Mhm.
to find out how many people have the toxic people in their families, and that's the worst.
Girl,
So many people out
away.
here. Yeah, they have toxic parents. Now could you imagine having a toxic parent
Lord Jesus. Woo.
and having to determine how can I stop dealing with mom or dad because they just way too much.
Mhm. Mhm.
It's just I just can't take it. And it's like when you talk to people like that, it's just like, wow, how are you going to manage? How are you going to cope? And everybody finds different ways. You know how to deal with people. You ever heard of the term back in the day, deal with them with a long spoon? That's toxic people. You got to deal with them with a long spoon. Those that you have to deal with, deal with. Those that you don't have to deal with, you just see you later. Toodaloo,
That's
keep it
right.
moving. Because other than that, they will drain you to no end.
So true. They will drain you. And you know what? I find to believe that there are. I wouldn't know what to call them,
Mm-hmm.
but is it the ones? Maybe you would be able to uh, explain this.
Mm-hmm.
There's the ones that they know that they can't stand you, but they don't know why they can't stand you, or they know that how could I put it? Like, they know that it's some type of issue that's there, but it's an issue that they are creating,
Mm-hmm.
but they can't express the issue that they are creating.
Mm-hmm.
But they're like how do you say- I want to say phony, but maybe it's not phony. Maybe uh, mm, they pretend.
I understand that they have like these it's like a fake relationship,
Yeah.
a fake issue that they create. Some people you have to look at them as the type that may be creating a situation because they really don't want to be in your life anymore. And so
Mm,
some people will create situations just to find a way to make one to make an exit.
mm-hmm.
But it's up to us to determine that we're not going to allow you to do this to me to make your exit. I'm going to make my exit on my own,
Mm-hmm.
and no
Or
way you're
miserable.
going to, right, because
Or
that's
they
the
could be
thing, because
miserable.
right, because some people can be miserable, and we know misery loves company. And it's like when you look at everything that's been happening over the past 8 months, it's
Mm,
like really funny because if you noticed, it was a number of businesses that got started during this time, right? People, their businesses flourished. They've been on social media, and people have had social media come ups and
mm-hmm.
all kinds of things happening to
Mm-hmm.
them. And
Mm-hmm.
it's just like, and then all of a sudden you get the hateration nation
Mm-hmm.
that is looking for you to fail because that's what they
Mm-hmm.
want. It's like they looking for your pivot to be a plummet. And when your pivot don't
Hey,
plummet, they have a problem. But it's
girl.
not your problem, it's their problem. They have to
Mm-hmm.
get over their self because they couldn't
Mm-hmm.
find a way to do the things that you've done to reach the heights that you've reached within your respected careers.
That's right.
And so it's like you see that happening so much,
Girl.
this year it was like it was the year of vision for it being 2020, but it exposed a lot of things, and it
Yes.
exposed a lot of people for who they are and a
Yes.
lot of situations for what they are.
Mm-hmm. And stuff that was
Oh,
hiding that they didn't
yeah,
need, that I'm pretty sure that they probably wasn't aware it was there, or they
right.
probably was
Mm-hmm.
going, but
Yep.
never took a minute to stop and pause to really
Right.
pay attention. Because during
Mm-hmm.
quarantine, I bumped into a lot of people, had
Mm-hmm.
some experience it with some people, and
Yes.
they was just extra wired, and it wasn't a
Uh-huh.
positive wired, it was a negative wired.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna stoop to your level.
Right.
However,
Right.
I'm gonna take a breath.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna talk to God,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm gonna make
Exactly.
sure it gets dealt with, because
Yes.
obviously you're going through something, you know,
Exactly.
and and when someone is experiencing stuff like that, you
Mm-hmm.
can never stoop to their level
Oh
because
no.
you're not helping their situation,
Mm-hmm.
you know.
Right. Right.
Saying that, you know, anybody, so obviously if you know somebody and they're going through something and you notice that they kind of like flipping off of a lid and you're not
Mm-hmm.
used to it and you see what's happening around you, you already know you should never react the way that they are reacting.
Right.
That's a given.
Mm-hmm.
That's a
Right.
given.
Right. Because if you react the way they react, you're basically giving into their situation and giving them power of you. And
Mm-hmm.
that's the thing. You have to maintain control of your own emotions and don't allow
Mm-hmm.
someone to draw you into their world to the point where you become helpless and become
Uh-huh.
powerless because now they have this massive control over how you're handling all of your situations. And that's not what you want.
Exactly.
Hmm.
Exactly. And see now, guys. Let me tell you something. This is exactly why we are doing what we're doing, which is giving y'all guys this summit. You
Hmm.
know, the knowledge is going to be so amazing that you guys are going to
Hmm.
receive. Hey, look, it's free. You don't have to pay for the ticket.
Hmm.
You know, so take advantage of what is free and what is there for you, the resources,
Hmm.
because you're going to gain so much more. This is just a little chit chat conversation so you guys can get to know the speakers for
Right.
who they are and know that
Hmm.
they know what they're talking about. There's no game over here, you
Hmm.
know. So this was just that opportunity to be able to have that conversation with them, and If you wanted to ask some questions or
Mhm.
find out some information, that's what this is here for. You know,
Mhm.
and you never know what your emotions, where your emotions may be at on certain
Mhm.
days. You don't know what could trigger your emotions. You don't even know half the time when, what, and how,
Right.
unless you're paying attention
Mhm.
and you're being mindful with it, right?
Mhm. Yes.
Set up constantly. And then one thing I say with along with that pivot,
Mhm.
one thing I would say also is this pandemic really allowed people to like sit down and pause. And it showed
Mhm.
a lot about their talents,
Yes.
you know, uh,
Mhm.
things that they always wanted to do. They was capable of doing it,
Mhm.
and they put their
Yes.
mind to it. In some relationships that probably wasn't so sweet, it ended up in divorces, which is, sad, or
Mhm.
domestic violence. And that's is another reason
Yes.
on domestic violence. We're going to have a
Yep.
domestic violence workshop there too, so
Yes. Mhm.
this is the purpose of these things. People was experiencing so much.
Mhm.
So take back your life in a different route with being educated and having knowledge on things.
Mhm.
That's what we're here for. That's what we're here
Right.
for. This is why we do what we do. Okay?
Mhm.
So
Exactly.
I want to I want to know if you could pass down some positive words, right?
Mhm.
What positive words would you pass down to our viewers, even if they are watching a replay? What
Mhm.
positive words would you say to them? Something that they can take and like move with, something that can help them progress, something that will help them see things in a better light. Something that is
Mhm.
gonna allow them to understand their worth and to know that
Mhm.
there is a time to pause, and mindfulness is a very important aspect of life. In reality,
Mhm.
this is where we're going. In reality,
Mhm.
this is what our life is going to be based around is
Right.
mindfulness. So could you like some positive?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely. Basically, positive words I would say is know that you are worthy. You are worthy to be great. You are positive. You can achieve and do all of the things that you set your heart and mind to. Know that you are, you are, you are great. There's no other way of putting it. Sometimes we have people in our life that may put us down and say a lot of negative things to us, but know that the things that they say, that's their opinion, that's their interpretation. You have to believe in yourself, have self-confidence, and know that you are not none of the
Mhm.
things that they said to you, that you are better, and you will do good, and you will be good. As long as you look good, you'll feel good, and when you feel good, you do good, and when you do good, it's all good.
It's all like peaches and gravy. My grandma
Mm.
used to say, honey, like peaches and gravy. And I
Yeah.
like this. So my grandmother always said,
Mhm.
always, always. So I
Yes.
do. I appreciate those positive words. It was so beautiful. It was so amazing. I really
Yes.
feel like there are a lot of women that need that.
Hmm.
And if
Yeah.
they don't know
Yeah.
that they need it, I don't know
Hmm.
what to tell you. Because
Hmm.
that stuff is important right there.
Oh yeah, definitely. We definitely, need that positive self-talk, need to be able to have that positivity put in our corner and know that there are people in our corner that's rooting for
Mhm.
us.
That's
Hmm.
so true. So, what I want to do is, I want to share something with you guys. Um, there is going to be a no cost mammogram screening on Saturday, December 5th, 2020, from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. It will be at the Temple of Restoration, 490 Pacific Street, Brooklyn, New York. And the number is 718-757-0945. 888-888-5854. The information is here. I shared the screen with you so that you can see the information. Once again, it's a no cost mammogram screening, and this is done every year, and it's from the Temple of Restoration Helping Hands Ministry, allowing women to get their mammograms done. I know here it says the exams are going to be given from 40 to 79.
Mhm.
However, what I learned with the conversation, and I've been hearing it a lot,
Mhm.
is that when I did the interview with Dr. Shania,
Mhm.
she said that she was diagnosed with cancer before
Wow.
40.
Mhm.
So I know they want us to do it after 40, but
Mhm.
in reality, I feel like it needs to be done before 40,
Right.
because there are a lot of, I have friends that
Mhm.
I'm hearing them getting cancer like crazy, and they're not even at that time when
Mhm.
I was hearing it, they wasn't even, I think, 35, and this was like a few years ago. I had two friends,
Mhm.
and
Right.
one literally had both her breasts cut off, and she was only
Mhm.
35.
Yeah. Wow.
So
Mhm.
this is something that I don't think happens at 40. I think it's there, and if you catch it at a wrong time, then it's nothing that you can really do about it unless you
Mhm.
really, listen. You don't never know what God can do. He could put some healing hands on you, and
Mhm.
but it's still good to try to do it in advance. But with this event that's being done on December 5th,
Mhm.
it's actually helping you become more aware. And
Right.
it's free. You don't have to go nowhere. You don't have to get paid for. But know that because of COVID-19 safety,
Mhm.
everyone will have their temperature screen check taken and screened. And
Mhm.
if it's above 100.3, you will not be able to be you will not be able to have your screening done. You will have to
Mhm.
schedule an appointment, and your
Okay.
faces must be covered.
Mhm.
Wearing a mask are required. So, guys,
Okay.
take
Mhm.
up the offer. If you are in the New York area,
Mhm.
I tell you this: take that offer up, run with it, fly with it. Look,
Mhm.
we're giving you this information. You gain so many resources right now. On tomorrow, be there for 11 to 2. And we're going to have these great workshops. It's
Mhm.
Healing Journey Virtual Awareness Summit. You can go to Eventbrite and Google the Yoma Method or the Healing Journey, or you can use this link right here on my page. It's on my Instagram link. It's on Tyra page. It's on
Mhm.
all the speakers pages. Take advantage of this. It's free. It's
Yes.
free. And there's a limited tickets, okay? It's a limited ticket. So make sure you allow yourself to get in that room and get this knowledge to help others gain what they need to know at the same time. Because when you learn, you could go take that and share it with somebody else, right? So
Mhm.
make sure you share the link, you share this recording, you share these interviews to help others get that knowledge, right?
That's right.
So I want to say thank you so much, Tyra, for being here and for bringing your knowledge.
Oh,
And
thank you.
it was just so great to have this beautiful conversation. And that's how
Yes.
you know the synchronicity, man. It's a beautiful thing right here. And what I want to share with you guys is something that I say this all the time, and I'm gonna
Mhm.
keep sharing it because this really helped me through my
Mhm.
process and in my space of healing.
Mhm.
I tell you not. And if you don't believe in God, no judgment, but I'm gonna do it the way that I do it because I do have my relationship with God. Okay.
Mhm.
So you guys, if you're gonna speak it with me, you can speak it with me. If you just wanna, you say it the way you want to say it, you can say it the way you want to say it. It's all up to you. I believe
Mhm.
in being your own person. Can't nobody
Right.
force you to be who you're not, and nobody is perfect. So
That's
you
right.
all good. No judgment zone right here. No judgment
Mhm.
zone. We still love you. So
Mhm.
I'm gonna share this with you real quick. Father God, allow me to see what you need me to see, think what you
Mhm.
need me to think, hear what you need me to hear, speak what you need me to speak, feel what you need me to feel, and move the way you need me to move, how you
Mhm.
need me to move, and go where you need me to move. That helped me through my process. That helped me through my journey. I used not want to share it, but God blessed me so much. And you have to share it. You
Mm-hmm.
gotta share it. Now I have another one that I keep to myself, and
Mm-hmm.
eventually I'll share it with you guys. Right?
Okay,
So
that's
it's
right.
allow you guys to push on and do what needs to be done at the same time, right? You
Mm-hmm.
got to be a blessing to others, because it's not, let's say it's not about what you do for yourself, but it's about what you do for others that makes a difference, right?
That's right.
And you don't
Mm-hmm.
do anything expecting something from it. You do it because you want to do it. You do it because you're doing it from the heart.
Mm-hmm.
Doing it to help others, because that's where your blessings is going to come from, but you're not seeing it like that. But
Right.
you can't see things like, I'm going to get this when I do this. No, but you're doing it from the heart, and God sees
Mm-hmm.
that you're doing it from the heart. And that's how he said, here, my baby,
Mm-hmm.
take
Yep.
it where you want, where you see yourself at. There it is. Oh, I got you. And not going to be now. Don't
That's
worry
right.
about it. Just keep doing what
Mm-hmm.
you do, and then I'll hit you with the bang later. That's how
Yep.
he doing that. Right? That's how he
Exactly.
doing it. That's how he doing it. I love it. So, guys, thank you so much for this. Make sure you guys go register. There go the link right there. Make sure you make it happen. Make sure you're there. And look, catch
Mm-hmm.
this. Catch this. The Mecca, the microphone checker, 1 2 1. Oh, breaker. I love you guys. Thank you so much for this. I can't wait till tomorrow to see you guys. We're gonna make it happen. And here we go. May you be vigilant,
Mm-hmm.
self-disciplined, and well balanced. And may you, yes, I say you,
Mm-hmm.
continue to move with greatness. One love, peace and blessings. Wicka, wicka. Boom. Peace. We out. Love ya.